What is up guys, it's your boy Solam here, back with another classic WoW hardcore PTR video. This is a video series where we're discussing different types of topics on the hardcore PTR to talk about them before the launch of official hardcore servers. Now today we're talking about the solo self-found, or basically the current hardcore rule sets that we have on the PTR and how they compare in comparison to the solo self-found, and talking about the fact that people want a solo self-found option for the hardcore servers. Now Blizzard have also touched on this subject, so we're going to take a look at their response and what they're looking to do for the future of hardcore classic WoW. Now for this we'll be taking a look at a blue post or a forum question and a response from Blizzard to that question, and I'll be using this video to come up with my alternative options to how to put this into the game later down the line, which I personally think could just expand the lifespan of these servers instead of giving us everything at launch. And based on Blizzard's actual response here, it looks like they might be on the same page. But let's just get into it and take a look at the actual blue post and we'll take it from there. So here we go, this is the actual question on the forum and a Blizzard response to it about the classic hardcore PTR, and this one mostly covers trading, not grouping, but mostly about trading. So trading should be restricted to a few levels below and above the character's level, otherwise high level characters will easily farm gear for low levels, and classic hardcore should be all about the journey from level 1 when you start with nothing and survive through all the difficulties. Later after release, when there are characters from all level chains, trading should also be prevented. This way a character level 60 could trade with a 57 who could then trade with a 54, like if they add these actual outlines, so you can only trade with people that are 3 levels in between your level, so 3 levels up or 3 levels down. There's going to be character level chains to trade, right? So to prevent this, an item once traded should have a cooldown period, during which further trading will not be possible. I think a cooldown period of 1 week is good, but would also like to hear other opinions what this cooldown period should be. Now this one right here I just think sounds way too complicated, both for Blizzard and average players to even start to understand. It's just arbitrary rules in place. In this case I think Blizzard would just have a no trading option, so you could opt in or out of trading. So if you want to have a solo self-found, you can just opt in and don't trade. That would be easier for them, would be easier for players as well, and just easier for everyone, instead of starting and add some arbitrary rules to prevent trading, and also start to add cooldowns to trades to prevent chain trading. Now similar restrictions should also be applied to the amount of gold that can be traded between players. For example, depending on the character's level, there should be a maximum amount of gold that can be sent or received for a day or for a week. This should also limit the amount of RMT, which shouldn't have a place in Classic. Now this one could be good against RMT, but in this case, just once again, just have an opt-in/opt-out of trading and then you're good to go, right? Solo self-found takes this away perfectly. Now here's Blizzard's response. Probably not going to be able to give a super satisfying answer here today, but we are hearing feedback about this and are considering some ideas around adding an opt-in option for no trade, or what we call solo self-found, or in this case self-found gameplay in the future. There's a few ways to potentially approach this, but all of them are out of scope for our initial patch 1.14.4 launch and will need to come with a future Classic Era hardcore update. Regardless of what we do, we think player agency here is the most important thing, and a no trade mode is not something we are looking at enforcing all of our players baseline, but with no ability to opt out of. Generally speaking, we are uncomfortable with taking player agency away or restricting options unless we absolutely have to. As far as I am aware, the current tools and add-ons that the community utilizes to enforce these challenges will continue to be maintained and functioned, and that is still an option that is totally available to those who want to pursue additional challenges. We fully expect player communities to pop up around these opt-in restrictions as well, which we are super excited to see. Now, this one is true, and I've seen a lot of people that are planning to stay on the previous servers. Well, haven't seen a lot, but a couple of people that are planning to stay on Hydration Waterlords for EU or Bloodsail Buccaneers for and North America. But the add-on that we're using, you can still use on hardcore servers as well. The only thing is, on regular hardcore servers, you will know if you see someone who's alive, they haven't ever died. On regular Bloodsail Buccaneers or Hydration Waterlords, if you use the add-on, there's ways to cheat. You can turn, like literally at level 60, people turn off the add-ons. I know people that are buying gold on Classic era. They turn off the add-on, they're playing hardcore, they turn off the add-on, receive mail, open the mail, turn it back on. You can also go into the Lua file of the add-on, edit your deaths, and basically do a self-appeal, or you can have friends that are mods that will appeal you as well. So at least by playing on the hardcore servers, you know that the people around you, when they're alive, they haven't died, they haven't cheated, they haven't been appealed, nothing has happened there. They are alive, they're still a hardcore character, right? You know that for sure, so you can still bring the add-ons over. But I think that when the regular servers, you can trade, you can group. Now, opting out for solo self-found, I think solo self-found is great, but if I'm going to do a character for solo self-found, I need there to be some sort of reward for doing so. Otherwise, on launch, I'm definitely not going to do that, because that's going to be nerfing myself, you will level slower, you can't group for dangerous quests. It's just going to be more difficult overall. Now, I've done solo self-found on 2 characters on Classic era, regular servers, actually 3 characters now, and it's super fun. But I think for the official servers there should be some sort of reward for doing it, rather than just having the add-on for doing it, right? Literally put in a title, give people a title like an Iron Man title or something else, just some cool title, for completing the challenge on solo self-found. Now, referring back to this right here, it looks like that is what Blizzard might be looking to do. They're looking to add an opt-in option later down the line for self-found gameplay, which could literally be something so easy as an NPC. And for this, there's a couple of servers out there that shall not be named that do this kind of well, and I'll show you a visual example of that right now. So for example, here you have me at level 1 on a brand new character, haven't done anything just yet, and before I start leveling there's an NPC at the starting area where I can talk to and toggle on different challenges. Now, clicking here, you have hardcore, for example, right here, the ultimate single life challenge, leap into a test of skill and perseverance and battle through a merciless world with only 1 life. Prove your strength and become a legend, but you don't have to adventure alone. You can group with other hardcore players. This is literally the regular hardcore server, right? So you can activate this challenge at level 1, and if you get to level 60 by doing this challenge right here, you will get some actual rewards here. Now, for this you actually get mounts and cosmetics. I don't want to see that, but literally give us, if you put in achievements, like for example in Classic era, put in achievements and give a feat of strength for achieving level 60 with a specific challenge, and a title as well. Over here you have different challenges based on that, like for example you have one hardcore challenge where you can only get experience by crafting or doing professions basically, which is a different challenge in that hardcore as well, where you have to stay alive, you have 1 life once again, but you only get experience by doing professions. You have one for doing all quests, like for example become the ultimate champion of the people, quest through Azeroth and aid citizens in need, gaining experience only through completing quests. So for this one, if you do a dungeon, you don't get any experience from any mobs, but you only, like, no matter what you do, the only source you have of experience will be doing quests. So this one, having a challenge like this, could literally give you a title called Lore Master or something in Classic WoW, and it would be super cool. It provides an avenue of a different challenge. We have a lot of examples in the Classic WoW hardcore add-on of these challenges as well, but this one right here, only getting experience through quests, I think sounds really cool, because in that case, you have to min-max all the quests you're doing. You can't farm mobs in the open world basically, and you can't just farm dungeons either. You have to mathematically theory craft out a route, and this could be actually kind of challenging in Classic WoW. Most leveling guides will tell you to grind for a couple of levels at least, and in this case you have to find a way around that, which could be super cool. There's a bunch of challenges they can have like this, but don't go overboard. But let's say they add one challenge at a time, that way the service will have like a 2-year lifespan. If they add in, first of all, solo self-found challenge, then they add in questing only challenge, then they add in something else. For every single challenge they add in, it will bring some people back that have taken a break after completing the previous challenge, right? It could just help make the servers thrive for a longer time, if you ask me. Now, taking this back all the way to the official hardcore service and their launch, as it looks right now, there's not going to be any solo self-found modes, based on Blizzard's own words from that blue post. This is not something they're looking to do for launch, but they're looking to add in a future update. And you know what, I'm kind of happy about that. I want to see what hardcore servers are going to be like with grouping and with trading, and when a solo self-found mode comes later down the line, it will just give people another incentive to level up another alt to get that verified solo self-found character in, like, let's say 4 months after launch, right? Once again, increasing the lifespan of the service and assuring you don't burn out by doing everything at launch. Kind of just like spacing out the content, right? It could be really cool, and I personally do want to see what hardcore service will be like when you can group and can trade. The actual economy will be really fun to see, like what's going to be costing a lot. I think it's going to spice up a little bit compared to Classic WoW. Some utility potions will be more expensive now, the flasks of petrifications will definitely be more expensive, and I want to see what the Black Lotus market will be looking like at the launch as well. Now, if you are as excited about the launch as me, and especially if you're as excited about gold making as me on these official servers when trading is allowed, I have made a gold guide for the hardcore servers, which you can find a link to down below. It's literally a 134 pages long document covering 50 plus gold farms. Huge investments you can do at launch to make thousands of gold that I'm going to be doing, and you also get access to a private Discord server and a bunch more. You can check that out through the link down below if you want to grab yourself a good product for gold making and support me a little bit extra at the same time. Either way, boys and girls, I just wanted to talk a little bit about solo self-found, keep you in the loop that Blizzard have been listening, and it's something they're looking to add later down the line, which I'm really excited about. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Once again, leave your thoughts and comments in the actual comments down below, subscribe for more Classic WoW content, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.